and we're going to criticize his ideologies and his thought process, and the
hmm
pro-black simps that continue to push brothers like us who have worked hard to essentially take the scraps in our community, the quiches, the single mother hood rats.
What these women usually do is treat men, particularly black women, they treat men um, like horrible. I mean, it's just absolutely horrible how we're treated by these people, and particularly the ones who are what's called the educated lames or the non-select. And we saw these women doing, not only ABW but black women as well. Sorry, white women as well, is that they're going after these guys who are Chad and Tyrone's, dangerous, creating lots of problem. And then what they do is they come to guys like me who are responsible working in STEM, cry on our shoulder. They tell us about being sexually assaulted. They tell us about having abortions. They talk about being cheated on, all these different problems. They cry on our shoulder, and then we, you know, fix them up, hoping maybe we have a relationship or with somebody else who have a relationship, or we're learning more about women. So we'll have a relationship, and all that happens is a cycle of them going out and getting ran through again by Chad and Tyrone. So this is again when I was in university. I used my passport. I was in Russia, and the girls chose me first, right? Because I was like the responsible exotic guy, and I had like I had an amazingly beautiful girlfriend in St. Petersburg, Russia, and she was just gorgeous. And when I came back to America, I just stopped listening to American women. I stopped being friend zoned. I said, I'm not going to deal with you women anymore because you're doing the same pattern. But when I
Mm.
go abroad, I'm chosen first.
To add to your point there, Theo, you're speaking absolute facts. So he's saying that his daughter might be a statistic. I think she's 20,
hmm
21, and
hmm
she may never get married. Thing is, right, let's keep it real. Women have so many options from 18 all the way to the until the day they get in a goddamn coffin, right? So I'm thinking, right, in my opinion, from 18 to 24 to 25, right? If you don't have a man, something is wrong there. Because when we compare that to men from 18, men who are 18 to 24, 25, those men are too busy building because men have it harder in this world than women when it comes to
hmm
dating. Okay, without a single doubt, men have to work harder and to get jobs, to date,
hmm
to get women, etc., etc. If you are a, if you're 25, right, 26, and you're single and you're a woman, I'm gonna look at you funny. I'm gonna look at you funny unless you're some sort of CEO, unless you're some sort of high flying professional where you're literally on call, 15 hours a day. How are you single? What were you doing when you were 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24? Theo, come on, man. Come on, Theo. Uh,
I'll,
we ain't fools up in this B, bro. Break it down for us, man.
well, the thing that we were told during that time period was that we were never good enough, no matter what we did. We were just not good enough as men. And so what we always had to keep on just improving and suck it up. Whereas women could date anyone, particularly when she's 25, or 24, 25. So she's dating everyone except you. And then, again, me, I'm sure it was you too. We just have to suck it up and you're not good enough. Yeah. Oh, you're better. You have to do better. Okay. Do better. You suck. Okay, fine. I suck. Oh, so study, work out, study, make yourself into a better person while the girl that you really want is being ran through by a line of guys.
Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the West.
Facts. Facts. Absolute facts. I keep saying it. If you're in the West and you're single by 24, 25, 26, something ain't right there. You're full of streets or you're picking the wrong men. So let's carry on playing the video, bro.
hmm
The the women we have in our community, right, unfortunately, are just not up to par. We have a bunch of Sukihanas, a bunch of Nicki Minaj's, and
hmm
they outweigh, in my opinion. There's more of the Nicki Minaj's, the Cardi B's, the Megan Thee Stallions in our community. When you have a shortage of, good women in the black community, they get snapped up very quickly by high value black males. So us being, average brothers, we have to admit we can't compete with these high value black males who come from rich families, who come from who went to prestigious universities. It's hard for us to compete. So the pool of high value black woman is very, very small. I would love to have a high value black woman, but it's so small in the West, right? It's literally impossible. Women who are
Well,
feminine, coachable, submissive, they're all taken up very quickly in the West, right?
Because we try to act like the way sisters treat us doesn't have a history that we are not at least partly responsible for. Let's be
oh
honest.
God.
The black woman has had to hold down the black house
Oh,
by herself, although imperfectly. She's had to do it by herself since the mass incarceration of black males began in the 1970s. You understand me? Most of our children are raised by a single mother right now. And it has been that way for about 50 years. So when a sister says,
No. Okay.
it has been well documented that the ABW threw out the black man in order to get welfare and state benefits. She chose the government and welfare over the black man. The Moynihan report clearly shows this. The confusion that white liberals had, they're like, when white, Asian, and Latino men start getting jobs, the women fall in line, they get marriages, the amount of welfare being paid out to these groups decreases. Black women doesn't matter. They want to have the welfare first. This is a problem with the ABW, her choices. That's it, 100%. All you have to do is get rid of welfare, and you'll see what happens. She has to choose differently. It's because she could choose welfare. Black men could not choose welfare. That's what happened. This has nothing to do with black men's choices whatsoever.
Damn. Yo, Theo broke it down to an absolute T. Yes, indeed. And it's also down to the choice where if we have a single mother pandemic in the community, it's the woman's fault. She's choosing wrong. Women are the ones that allow, to keep it PG, men to enter them, right? So if you're allowing the wrong men to enter you, men who have no education, men who are weed heads, want to be rappers, who sag their pants, who are like degenerates, and they impregnate you, and they have no value. They leave you. How is that how is that every black man's fault, Dr. Umar Johnson? Isn't that the choice of the woman? Once again, ABW is absolved of any responsibility for her wrongdoings.
They would choose the most irresponsible black male they could, who was the easiest, go out and lay with them, get pregnant, and then say they're victims and do it again and again and again.
I don't need a man, because she couldn't find one strong enough to hold her down. Or when you meet a woman and you say, sister, I'm strong enough to be a man. You ain't got to work, or you ain't got to pay the bills or whatever. Pull back. I got you. And she can't do it because all the other men before you who disappointed her.
No.
So what I'm saying is,
hold on there, Phil, right? And this is the problem I have with high body counts. Is the reason why I am against women sleeping around. This is one of the problems. You deal with so many men, you have all that trauma, you can't trust the man that's currently pursuing you, and that builds up even more trauma. There's a reason why I'm against women sleeping around. That is one of the reasons. But notice how Umar Johnson doesn't speak about the negatives of a woman throwing her box around. If you can't trust men, okay, if you've been wronged by men, you're picking the wrong men, or you're sleeping around too much. How about you spend time, right, finding the right man that's good for you as a woman, that will elevate you, that will protect you, that will actually lead you right to where you should be going in life, and not just throwing your box around, being an independent, Sex in the City idolizing thoughts.
The reason why she's not choosing the responsible man who got her is because she chose the welfare. She chose the government. And if she's with the black man making a family, she's going to lose her welfare payments. And she would rather have the government and sleep around than be a part of a responsible family. That's why. And then with the welfare payments, she can be strong and independent and do what she wants to do. I saw this time and time again, and I saw guys who were very responsible try to go out and make families with these women. They were utterly rejected. And a lot of these guys said, screw it, I'm not going to deal with this anymore, because they had means. what they do, well, they either dated white girls in the West, or they're like us. They said, "Screw the West, we're not going to do that. We're just going to go become passport bros," and that's it. They went ahead and left, and that's exactly what happened. This had nothing to do. This is more akin to the situation, for example, with alimony. Remember, look for the government. Look for the government messes up the system. So when a woman gets alimony, she has or child support. The child support ends or the alimony ends basically if she gets remarried, right? So why she gets free money for doing nothing during that time period? So she'll date other guys. She'll go around, but she won't get married. Even if she's in a long-term relationship, it doesn't matter. She'll just keep on. She won't actually get hitched because she can get that free cash. Same kind of idea, and that is also enabled by the government.
We have to be
And the
held
strong-
accountable for their poor
No,
selection.
you have to be held accountable. No, you have to be held accountable because they have a poor selection.
What? That don't make no sense, bruv. Is this guy? Is he on that yayo? Is he on that that white? What's he talking about, bro?
See, what you're saying, you're selecting a poor mate. And what I'm saying is they don't have much to select one, so of course you're going to end up with a poor mate. And why is she going to end
No,
up
no,
with
no. Hold on there, Umar. There are plenty of black men right now, and this is evident on my channel, that are great black men that work in IT, studying IT. The fact is that he won't admit is that black women, BW, sorry, keep it coded right, in our community don't mess with nerdy brothers. They don't mess with dudes who watch anime, who read manga, who are into cars, who are into sports. Unless you're a rapper, unless you're an aspiring rapper, unless you're into this whole celebrity lifestyle nonsense, unless you worship athletes, unless you're a stereotypical brother, right? You're an athlete. That's who they're only checking for. And there's only a small amount of brothers in our community that are over 6'2", that are jacked up, right? That have 6 cars, 6 businesses, 6 pack, and all that crap, right? So this is what I'm talking about, bro. The excuses for BWs as to their shortfalls is astounding, bro. How's he talking about that there ain't much to choose from? There's plenty of brothers who are educated to choose from right now in America and in the UK. Break it
Mhm.
down for us, Rio.
They did a study, I think it was in Cornell University in 2011. Somebody go look it up. But St. Kevin Samuels talked about it on his show. They said basically university educated ABWs are actively choosing and looking for thugs, drug dealers, and the such over educated college black men. And they had no idea why this was, but they found it again and again with various groups. And it's like nobody else has this issue. Nobody else. I'm like, if the ABW chooses the thug and the athlete, the guys who treat her badly, and then doesn't choose one of us who are there, who have been there, responsible forever, you can't go around and saying that it's us, that we weren't there. She had a lack of choices. They go out and get the bad guy who's very athletic, apparently has great DNA. Then they want the community of guys like me who are intelligent to not breed with the ABW because she's already bred, but to bring up the children and to make, prepare everybody for the future, jobs, everything, education. So basically, I'm supposed to be a eunuch. Basically, I'm not supposed to be breeding at all. I'm not supposed to have any love or compassion, nothing like that at all. I can't have my own children.
with a poor mate? Because we as black men are not raising black boys to be the men that our women need. We are not. They out there killing themselves right now. What we doing about it? Unemployed black males, what we doing about it? Pants sagging, weed smoking, what we doing about it? Black men are not raising black boys to be the men our community needs. That is 100% our fault. What I'm
Shut your
saying,
goddamn mouth. Shut your goddamn mouth, Umar Johnson. What are you talking about, bruv?
That is-
Is Theo sagging his pants? Is Theo killing other brothers? Is Theo a rapper rapping about killing other brothers? Am I doing that, Umar Johnson?
No.
Who's raised? Hold on, brother. Who's raising these boys, right? Because think about it, right? There's a high single mother rate in our community. Okay, so that means the majority of BWs are raising these young boys, and these young boys are growing up to be brothers who kill other brothers, gangsters, rappers, gangster rappers. So if we aren't in the family household, it's the BWs that are raising these men to do that. You can't blame us, Umar Johnson, for what happens in rap.
You don't think the black woman got a right to be angry when she's been raising 2/3 of the kids by herself for 50 years? Personality has history.
If she's picking Pookie and Ray Ray instead of
You're making her a scapegoat.
no, she's picking a scapegoat.
No.
That's facts there. That's facts, bro. She's picking the wrong men. Bruv,
Yeah.
it all boils down to who these women are choosing. These women have become very feminist. They want the top 1%. They want the top 0.1% of the top 1%, right?
Uh-huh.
These guys have options, so of course they're gonna dabble in the options, and then you get screwed over. I mean, it's that simple. Go for an average normal guy that works in IT, that is hardworking, and I guarantee you, most of our problems in our community will go away. I have never ever come across a single mother Indian woman in my life in the UK. I have never come across a single mother Chinese woman in my life, a single mother Arab woman in my life. I come across a whole bunch of BW single mothers every goddamn day. And when I compare the BWs single mothers to women in other communities, I notice that the Chinese woman, the Indian woman, Arab woman, they're normal average men, and they're happy. They pick correctly. BWs unfortunately do not pick correctly, and that's their fault.
All of my black male friends from high school and university, they either have master's degrees or university degrees, and they are single and childless. So they're highly educated, single and childless. A lot of them are above the age as what I'm 50, so a lot of them are about 45, between 45 and 55. That's because they're from my hometown or university. One guy is married to a white girl, but she's from our high school, so race doesn't really count because we grew up together, right? And they have a child. None of these guys have any illegitimate children or children outside of marriage or anything like that. They're all straight hitters. None of them. And if you're going to go to these guys and say that it's their responsibility, they're supposed to be taking care of ABW, they did something wrong? Screw that. The women should have been trying to get with these guys 20 years ago and making families instead of no.